Are you looking to move to Nottingham either to live here or to do uni or because of work? Then hopefully this storytime video will help you out. Welcome back to Storytime, and this is how is it like to live in Nottingham? Welcome back to another video, and this video hopefully isn't going to be a mega long one, but I'm going to talk about my experience of living in Nottingham. Like I initially said in my trailer video, I was born and raised in Nottingham. My parents were born and raised in Nottingham, just in different parts, and I have an older brother which was born and raised here as well. I currently still live in Nottingham, and I thought I would share with you guys my experiences I've had in Nottingham and how safe it is, as well as what things there are to do on a high overview scale. First, to start off with me. I was born here, so I was born in Nottingham, and I went to school in primary school, which is, I think, is elementary school in America, if anyone's watching from America. But primary school is the lowest form of school in Nottingham or in the UK. And then I went to secondary school, which is in a town next to where I live and where I was born. And I went to secondary school there. And then I went to college in Nottingham city centre. And then I have pretty much worked in Nottingham for the whole of my life. I haven't really moved about as much. I've never lived anywhere else. I've always lived in Nottingham, and the place I am now is where I was born and raised and where I spent most of my life, in this room. Let's talk about the general living. If you're just coming here to live here and work, then you're probably looking at the normal style of houses. In Nottingham, there is your normal flats in your city centres and other parts of Nottingham. There is terrace houses, semi-detached houses, detached houses, which are spread amongst Nottingham in different towns. So, where do I live? I live in I would say relatively small town. I'm not going to mention it because that would be stupid, but I live in a relatively small town in a semi-detached house. So the wall behind me is leading onto another house, or is another bedroom of another house, and the wall behind the camera, where you guys are, is a wall to the outside where an alleyway goes, and another house is joint on there. So I have an alleyway, or I have 3 outside walls, I guess you could call it. So I have one to my alleyway, one to the back of my house, one to the front, and then to the back other side of my house is joining onto another house. So a detached house basically has all of the walls are outside walls and nothing is attached to any other property. A terrace house is you only have 2 outside walls, which is the back wall, or your back garden wall, and your front garden wall, and your 2 other side walls are connected onto other houses. So it's kind of like a massive long building, but obviously separated into chunks of houses. So what's it like living in the UK? What's it like living in Nottingham specifically? Living in Nottingham, I would say that the whole of my experience, in a general quick overview, is initially good. I haven't had any bad runnings in Nottingham. There's a couple of times where I've had, maybe on a night out, someone get really loud or someone just get too cocky. Initially, I don't think that's the people that live there. I think it's just the students that have come over from wherever they are from, and they're mega drunk, and they're just looking for a fight, or they think of starting a fight and stuff like that. But initially saying, touch wood, I've never got into a fight in Nottingham. I don't go looking for them either, but I've never got into a conflict where it's been to the point where that's bad. Of course, I've got into driving conflicts, but driving conflicts happen all over the UK. That's not just exempt to Nottingham. But I wouldn't say I've got involved in much drama here, which I guess is good. And if you're a cool, calm, level-headed person, which sometimes I can't be, I would say it's a pretty nice place to live, in the form of the attitude and the mentality that's given off. The one thing I would say before I go into more details about Nottingham is, if you're going to certain towns that are surrounding Nottingham that are called rough, then have your wits about you, and obviously don't be stupid. Don't go around flashing money and flashing expensive things and talking loud about the place of how crap it is and stuff like that, because you will attract the wrong attention, and I'm sure that someone may sort you out. So I don't condone violence, but if you're looking for it and you're just going to go out to be an idiot, this applies to anywhere, not just in the UK, not just in Nottingham, anywhere in the world. If you just go out being a loudmouth, I'm sure you're going to attract the wrong type of attention, and it's not going to end good for you. And that's just how it is in the world, sadly. But like I said, everywhere has their bad areas, and Nottingham isn't shy of them. A lot of people come to Nottingham and say, God, there's a lot of rough areas in Nottingham. Well, yeah, I can say the same about anywhere. I can say the same about the capital in London. Many times have I gone through London, or I've gone to London, and there has been sections in London which have looked rough. But there is many times where people have come to Nottingham and drove through Nottingham and gone, wow, this is crap. It throws each way. It doesn't matter where you go, north or you go south, you go west, you go east, wherever you go, everywhere has their bad areas. So I just want to reiterate that. The one thing I will lead on to before I lead on to some statistics I want to give to you, which may give you a general overview if you're looking to move here for any type of reason, is the whole point of a TV show called Police Interceptors. So if you don't know what this is, it's a police show where a camera crew follow around a bunch of policemen or police women arresting people and dealing with certain crimes. That is the general gist of the show, and it's more for entertainment purposes of seeing what people do and how, I guess, maybe silly they can be on TV, of how they try to get themselves out of predicament with the police of doing something illegal. That's the initial base of the show, and if you're from America, I'm sure you have police or cop shows over there of film crews filming the cops arresting people and doing all sorts of crimes and stuff like this. And one of the sad places they decide to pick is Nottingham. And yes, I know you might be thinking, some people may like it. I like it. I like seeing somewhere close to me going, oh, that's a couple of streets away from me, and I'm like, that's interesting. But also I think, even though I do like the show and I do kind of like seeing my own city kind of involved on TV, I just don't think Police and Test is the right show for it, because I don't think it gives a good rep to people wanting to come to Nottingham going, well, they obviously have a really high crime rate because there's a TV camera crew there and they're all just pretty much just running around just arresting people left, right and centre, and that's not entirely the case. Of course, it's all for TV purposes. They're not going to film the boring parts, they're also obviously going to film all the good parts. So I'm just going to give you a couple of stats which is based on London and Nottingham, which hopefully might give you a bit of an overview of how the crime rates are. So in London, the level of crime is about 62% or 63%. But in Nottingham, it is about 59 to 60% level crime, so only 2% away. So if you go to London and you've travelled to London a lot, you lived in London, or you've just been there and you've gone uni, it's a lower crime level than it is in London. And do hear me out, of course, London is a much, much bigger place than Nottingham is and Nottinghamshire is. So do keep that in mind, that it may be on a smaller scale, so I don't know how much you want to take into account here, but like I said, it's not higher than London. If I was to say from actual research from Safe Travel website, which I just actually looked up, the Nottingham is along the lines of medium risk for travel or for safety if you live or travel or work or want to come here. So I wouldn't say it's too and far between of anywhere in the UK. You can go to York, anywhere in Yorkshire, London, here, Nottingham, anywhere amongst the country, and I'm sure that there is a mixed crime rate. I did have a look on the internet as well of where the most safest places to live in Nottingham, and the general answer is pretty much can apply to the whole of the world, is that the poorer areas are the most unsafe, which will obviously make sense because the poorer areas, people are trying to earn money in different ways than people probably with more sustainable and better permanent jobs living in richer areas. But it doesn't matter where you live, I would say, to be truly honest, in Nottingham. If you're coming here for uni, coming here for work, whatever, living in a flat, living in a house, it doesn't matter where you live in Nottingham. Like I said, it's who you are as a person. If you are a person that's not going to be comfortable living in a rough area, and it's classified as a rough area if you're looking to move to somewhere like that, then yeah, don't move there. If you're going to feel uncomfortable, don't move there. You obviously have made the wrong choice if you're going to move there anyway. But if you are the person to just think, well, I'm a level-headed person, I can handle myself, I'm okay, then just do it. Move there, it doesn't hurt, no matter where it is, just go and live your life. That's the best thing I can suggest. Like I'm saying, with the whole premise of living in Nottingham, working in Nottingham, the shops is very, very diverse and different. But like I said, with all of that mixed in, Nottingham has a lot of nature attractions where you can go to things like Woollerton Hall and many other places, Sherwood Forest, to be amongst nature and have these very nice nature walks and go in these historical hauled houses and mansions, castles, that you can learn the history about and hear about the certain lords and different people in power that were of history of Nottingham, which is quite cool. And then obviously you have a very good shopping district, which I'll show you more in future videos of Nottingham city centre, where you'll never be disappointed of the shops in Nottingham city centre. But like I said, in general living here, I haven't experienced that much. So probably might not be the most interesting video, but I just want to be honest with you that yes, the crime rates aren't too far off London, but I wouldn't say it's super dangerous to live here. I hope that's helped any of you guys. If you have any further questions, like I'm going to do some day in the lives as well as places you can visit in Nottingham and certain shops and stuff, which hopefully might give you a general understanding of how it is to live in Nottingham. Certain, like maybe a person that owns a shop or a cafe, or maybe even uni students, or just general work from home people. And that might give you an understanding of how it is to live in Nottingham and be amongst the community, as well as if you're traveling here, what you have to expect with the type of people you're going to meet on a day-to-day basis. That's this video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will certainly be back with much better videos, which I do have in the pipeline. Cheers guys, see you in a bit, peace out.